What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. So, you guys, if you're quarantined, if you haven't left your house in like 4 days, and you can't get to a meeting because all over the United States, places are getting shut down. There's curfews that are going into effect. And I know that a lot of you guys that are in recovery are like, what the hell am I going to do? I need to have a meeting. I don't have a meeting to go to, right? And so it's okay. Do not fear. We are going to help you guys out. So I have joined forces with two other people that have YouTube channels. Um, my good friend James from Sober James, the YouTube channel, and LT from Recovering Addict, the YouTube channel. And I am going to do my meeting from 7 to 8. James is going to be doing his meeting from 8 to 9, and LT is going to do his from 9 to 10. So we got you guys covered for the next 3 hours. If you're struggling and you do not have support and you can't get, online to go to a meeting, then you can come hang out with us here on my channel, Real Talk Recovery. So you're not alone. You don't have to go through this time by yourself. Uh, so let's do this. I'm really excited. So I've had a bunch of you guys that have been reaching out and asking me like, hey, I have to get my sheet signed because my probation officer makes me go to meetings. If you have a sheet that needs to be signed, or just you have to make these meetings for something that has to do with the law or child protective services, if you will text me on the Real Talk Recovery phone line at 501-991-5149, then I can go ahead and give that information to the powers that be and let them know that you were here in the meeting. But I need to see you in the meeting. I need to see your name pop up and you need to make contact with me so I know that you were here, okay? I'm not just going to sign sheets for people because they told me they were here. It's your job to make sure that you connect with me through the comment section so I know that you're here, okay? And in fact, what I'll do, let me get a pen and a piece of paper. I got a pen and a piece of paper right here. So I got you guys. If you come in here and you have to have your sheet signed and you let me know you're here and that you're staying for the meeting, then I'll take care of it, okay? All right, so what's up, everybody? I hope you guys are having a good day. I actually went into work today. I had to drive into Bryant and work at the Walmart out there. And surprise, surprise, there wasn't a lot of people. So everybody's staying in, which is good because we want to protect ourselves. We want to be safe. And if we're sick, we don't want to get anybody else sick. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of what the problem is that a lot of people, they might not know that they're sick, right? And they might pass it on to somebody else. So it's our jobs to be responsible, not to panic, not to overreact, and just do the social distancing, stay at home, and chill out. So y'all are here with me. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna have this recovery meeting, and I'm excited. So I went online because I was like, I need to find some topics that we can talk about tonight because y'all know I talk about everything over here on my channel. And I was like, what haven't I talked about in a while? Because I talk about a lot of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I've got some good ideas. We can talk about taking action and sharing the solution. Okay? Taking action and sharing the solution. So, a lot of you guys are probably like, what are you talking about, Nicole? What does taking action mean, right? For many, many years, I wanted to get sober. I wanted to change my life. I wanted to be a better person. I wanted to have all the things that people told me I could have and achieve if I was sober. But guess what? I wasn't willing to take action. I wasn't willing to put in the work. I wasn't willing to step out of my comfort zone and reach out for help. Okay? So, taking action is exactly what it sounds like it is. It's doing the damn thing. It's getting out of your own way raising your hand and telling people, yo, I'm struggling. I need help. I can't do this on my own. And for a long time, you guys, my pride and my ego really kept me from reaching out and getting the help that I could have gotten so long ago. I probably put myself through a good 7 to 8 years of straight chaos, horror, treacherous, okay, torture, because was so, I thought I could do it on my own. I thought I could do it on my own. I thought that I could stop drugs and stay sober, and that was all it was going to take. All I had to do was stop the drugs and put them down, right? Damn, man, I wish it was that easy. And for those of you guys that are over here on YouTube, if you see me look over here, it's because I'm talking to people on Facebook and I'm talking to you guys on YouTube. So I got 2 videos going at the same time. So it's easy to say I want to make a change, right? The hard part is actually making the change. The hard part is actually pocketing your pride, right? Letting go and reaching out for help. It's very, very scary. And I know because I had to do it, you guys. I remember reaching out and asking for help before I got sober this last time, right? Because this last time I got sober, I was forced, you know what I mean? Like sometimes that's what it takes. Mom says, yep, thought you were enough, but it takes a community of support. It does. Hey, Brittany. Hey, both Brittany's. Hey, Brittany C. and hey, Brittany Beautiful. So there's my mom in the chat. For those of you guys that are over here on YouTube, my mom's right there. Her name is Gina DeMayo. Hey, Melanie. Hey, Michelle. Thanks for being here. So, hey, Merk. Thanks for being here. Hey, Merk, will you do me a favor? Will you link Sober James and LT's channel so that way everybody will know that after this meeting we can go over to Sober James's channel, and after Sober James's channel we can go over to LT's channel. So you guys, we got a whole freaking 3 hours worth of meetings planned for you guys tonight, so you don't have to go without getting a meeting. Okay, it's me, James, and LT, and we're going to rock this out for the next 3 weeks, maybe even longer than that. So that way, every single person who can't get to a meeting, that's struggling, that needs support, you're not alone. You can come hang out with us. You're part of the Real Talk Recovery family. The minute you touch base, you come in here, you say, "What's up? I'm here," right? You're part of the family, man. You are, sorry, you're one of my kids. I gave birth to all of y'all. You know what I mean? So once you come in here and you check in, then you're part of the family. So seeing people for who they are really frees you to succeed. It does. And so, okay, so let's talk about taking action, all right? So I wanted to give a big shout out to Brittany because Brittany reached out to me through the Real Talk Recovery phone line. For those of you guys that don't know, if you ever are struggling and you just want to talk or you just want to text and say, hey, or you just need a little bit of advice, like some suggestions, you can text me on the Real Talk Recovery phone line. The number's 501-991-5149. I'm not a recovery guru. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a counselor. I'm not any kind of medical professional, but I will share with you what worked for me. Okay. And I will do my best to point you in the right direction with whatever resources you're needing. Okay. So Brittany reached out to me and she has been struggling just needing to get started. And she reached out and she jumped over that hurdle, that fear of being afraid to reach out, being afraid to ask for help, and sometimes, especially for us women, I don't know how you guys are, but for us women, you guys, it can be difficult because we think that when we reach out to another woman, that other woman is going to like judge us. I don't know what it is. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Women can be very like, catty sometimes. And so that's why I work really, really hard to make sure that when I'm coming on here and I'm talking to you guys, that I am just like let you know that I know what you're going through and that I've been there. And I'm never going to forget what it was like, you guys, when I was in my active addiction and I was struggling real, real bad. I don't ever want to forget what that was like, because when I forget what that was like, then I'm going to lose that connection and that relatability to be able to help others. So, by working with addicts and alcoholics that are still struggling, it helps me to remember where I came from. And so that way I can give back. You know what I'm saying? So, let's get on with it. Taking action. All right. Taking action, it can be, you can start out with little steps or you can start out with one giant step, right? And so the way that I did it was I just ripped that band-aid right off. I went straight into detox. I remember it like it was yesterday. And a lot of you guys have heard my story, but I'll share a little bit of it with you, okay? So back in 2015, my little boy was taken away from me by the Child Protective Services here in Arkansas. They came to my house and they drug screened me and they drug tested my husband, and we both failed for for opiates and benzos. And so our child got taken from us, okay? At that time, I just said, you know what? I don't know how to get sober on my own. I really need help. And so I went straight into treatment. I went straight into detox that day. And if I hadn't went straight in that day, you guys, I probably never would have went. Hey LT, that's LT, you guys. The guy I was telling you all about. Recovering Addict is his channel. And he's going to be on not right after me, but after James. So, okay, what was I saying? Okay, yeah, they took Nate. Oh, I went straight into treatment. If I hadn't went straight into detox, you guys, I would have never went. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so that's why when I tell you guys, like, I ripped the band-aid right off, because if I had thought about it and I had said, like, oh, I'm not going to go today, I'll go tomorrow, I would have never went, and I don't even I hate even having to admit that to you guys, but it's the truth. If I hadn't have went right away, I wouldn't have went. And I work with a lot of people who, they'll call in and they'll be looking for help, and they'll say, well, oh, let me schedule the appointment or the detox or the treatment for tomorrow. And the first thing that I tell anybody when they're telling me, let's just put it off till tomorrow, I'm like, no, let's do it today. Why not do it today? Today is the first day of the rest of your life. You can make the change now. Because if you're anything like me, how many of you guys, when you say, I'll do it tomorrow when you were in your addiction, that means you're going out to get one last high? I got to go get me one more, just one more, right? And sometimes that one more can take you back to jail. That one more can put you in the grave. That one more can make you not call the treatment center that next day or not ever wake up, right? Yeah, Jan, we put it off. I don't even know how long I put it off for, but it was a good 10 years of me saying, oh, it'll be tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. And a lot of it, I think, comes from like the want to still get high, right? The obsession to use still, because we got that reservation in our heads. When when you are in the, it's like a teeter totter. All right. It's like a teeter totter. So when you're about to try and get sober, the teeter totter is leveled out. You're right in the middle like this. And so you're like, oh yeah. Okay, yeah. And you're going to you're going to go into treatment, right? When you're getting high, the teeter totter's on one side like this. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, you got to get it right out and balanced so that way you can make that decision and go right in. And sometimes we need people to encourage us, right? And push us and say, come on, let's do this. Let's make the change. You're worthy. You deserve recovery. You deserve a better life. You don't have to live your life like this anymore. You don't have to do those things to yourself anymore. You deserve to be sober. You deserve recovery. And we talked a little bit about this yesterday. I think a lot of it is that when we're in our active addiction, we don't love ourselves. We have a lot of pain. We have a lot of trauma. We have things that we're trying to cover up and not feel. And so that's why we keep running from that. We're running and we're trying to hide. And so one of the things that we always talk about a lot here is like getting a solid support system, okay? Like a good solid support system of people that want the best for you, that also wants you to get sober and stay sober and have a better life, right? When I was in my addiction, and even when I got sober, I used to surround myself, you guys. Hey, Heather. I used to surround myself with people who didn't want what was best for me. They didn't want me to succeed. Some of them we were just using each other. We weren't with each other for any other reason but to benefit and what we could get out of that relationship. And so when we finally are able to turn our lives around and get clean and sober, and then we start to learn how to love ourselves, and we start to learn how to choose better friends that actually support us and what's best for us. And so spending many many years hating ourselves and hurting ourselves and just not caring, right? It's a hard transition to go from not loving yourself, not taking care of yourself, to turning your whole life around and then having to learn how to do that. Um, when I first got clean, I didn't even know like how to properly write a check. I didn't know how to make a deposit into a bank account. I didn't even have a bank account, you guys. It was pretty bad. Um, I didn't ever pay like my insurance. I remember I had a car before I sold it for drugs. I had a car, and my dad would always tell me how important it was to make sure I kept insurance on my car just in case I got pulled over or I had an accident, right? And the minute my dad stopped paying my insurance and I started having to pay it, I let that insurance lapse. And of course, I wrecked my car and I got pulled over and I got a ticket and all these things happened, but I didn't know have any response. I didn't know how to follow through with my responsibilities. And so when I got sober, I had to learn all these things over again. So taking action and taking that next step to actually reach out for and get help and go into treatment or start going to meetings or raise your hand in the meeting place and say, hey, I'm struggling, I need a sponsor, can somebody sponsor me, can somebody take me through the steps. Like I know a lot of you guys message me and you ask me. No, girl, I did not have insurance. I was very bad, girl. um you asked me about how to get a sponsor, okay? And so I've actually gotten quite a few people that have messaged me and asked me that. So for those of you guys that aren't attending any kind of recovery related like meetings, like not now, I know you're not now because this damn coronavirus, but before the coronavirus, if you were going to AA or NA or CA or Celebrate Recovery, right? These are all meetings where you can go in and you can hear people sharing, and usually what they do is a woman asks a woman and a man asks a man. So we stick with our own kind, right? Because like whenever you're getting sober and the feelings start coming back, what can happen is if you're like a woman that asks a man to sponsor you, y'all can end up falling in love with each other, because it's just how it is. When you're first getting clean, it's like all these feelings start rushing back like a tidal wave. Hey guys, Neil, Neil, Nathaniel, what is going on? Okay, be quiet, please. Nate sounded like he was like literally about to throw up or something. He's like, "Rawr!" Yeah, after I get done doing this meeting. Okay, so let me read y'all's comments. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I'm so sorry. Where is the best spot on a person to take one's temperature? Okay, so Ash, it depends on what the thermometer is calibrated for. If it's calibrated for underneath the arm, then you take it underneath the arm. If it's calibrated for underneath your tongue, you take it underneath the tongue. So anyways, taking action. Let me keep on going. So we know that in order to make a change in our lives, we can't just think about how we want to get sober. We can't just like get clean and sober through osmosis, you know what I'm saying? And it rubs off on us. So like, let me sit by Michelle over here. She's sober. She's going to rub off on me and then I'm going to be sober, right? Like we have to take action. Okay. So once you take action and let's say you're in rehab or you're about to graduate, okay, or you're going to meetings and you got your whole sober friends and y'all are all like doing the damn thing, y'all are working the steps, you are going to therapy, you got your whole family to support you, right? And you're doing the recovery thing, right? So what a lot of recovery groups talk about and like in their meetings and stuff like AA or NA or in any meeting really in Mara, we talk about focusing on the solution, right? And I'm sure you guys have heard me say this before. So like if you're not part of the solution, then you're what? You're part of the problem. So I can sit here all day long and like share with you guys about all the crazy things I did in my active addiction and tell you like these crazy stories from when I was high on meth and all the stupid things I used to do, and how I would get so drunk and all that crazy stuff, right? But if I'm not coming here and sharing with you guys how I got away from that life and sharing with you guys the solution of how my life has changed, right? Then I'm just giving you a bunch of war stories and y'all know all that. You guys have been there. You guys have all been down the same road I've been down, right? So, what I've been trying to do now that we're doing these meetings every night is we can focus more on like sharing with each other how we changed and what we're doing to stay sober every single day. You know what I mean? I want to hear how you got away. We all know what it's like. So, how did I get away? So, Brittany, I know you're new here, so I'll share a little bit with you. So, for those of you guys that are not aware or know how I got out of that lifestyle, let me share with you guys what it was like first. So, I was really deep into my addiction. I had been an active drug addict since I was about 17 and a half. I started injecting methamphetamine when I was about 24. Then I started injecting opiates at about 27, 28. And after that, I was straight up strung out. Um, I went to 5 treatment centers, and every treatment center I went to, I thought, this is it. I'm going to learn all this stuff and I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to stay sober, right? And I learned everything, you guys. I listened. I was a model student, right? And I've always been like that. Like you can put me in rehab or prison or jail and I am going to do a great job. I'm going to comply. I'm going to listen to what they tell me to do. I'm going to be I'm a good kid. I'm a good student, right? Sorry. I get something to drink. Okay. I never had any problems like going into treatment or learning. And I would learn fairly quickly. Like I learned about the disease of addiction. And I talk with you guys about the disease of addiction here. So for those of you that don't know, and I talk about this a lot, but I think it's important because some of you guys are new and you might not know. The first thing Nicole did is she spoke to each one of us and apologized for her behavior. It was hard. I was always apologizing to my parents for my behavior, you guys. But, you know, when you apologize so many times and you don't make the change and actually stay sober, then it's like talking to a brick wall. You know, hey, mom, do you want to come up here with me? Hold on, you guys. Let me see if my mom will come up here with me. We're going to see if my mom will come on, y'all. If you want to see her, come over here to the YouTubes. Real Talk Recovery. there she is. We'll see. We'll see what she says. Okay, Mom, I sent you a link to your email. I sent it to both of your emails, the Gmail and the AOL. So all you have to do is open your email, click the link. It's from StreamYards, and it'll bring you on the screen with me. Okay, if you want to come on. So, or I can put the link right here. Hold on, let me put it in here so that way. This is going to be good, y'all. Oh, Mama, my mom can share her experience with you guys because she has a different perspective than I do, you know, because she's my mom. Okay. Okay, Mom, here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share this link in the chat right here, Mom. Look on the chat, and you can click the link and it'll bring you on with me. Okay. Oh, you're logging in now? Okay, come on, sister. Come on. Yay, this is gonna be cool. Oh gosh, y'all get to hear what my mom's gonna talk crazy about me now. Just like so anyway, being part of the solution, that's what we're going to do tonight. My mom's going to share with you guys a little bit about like what it was like whenever, you know, I would probably like, I don't know, if I cry a little bit, y'all don't laugh either because I'll probably cry. Hey Mom, I just put the link. Oh, there, never mind. Here she comes.
Can you see me? Okay, you can see me. Hi.
So anyway, hey Mom.
Hey baby.
That's what we're going to do tonight. My mom's going to share with you guys a little bit about like what it was like whenever, you know, I was like, are you listening to me on something else?
Yeah, I'm going to shut this off right now. Hold on.
Okay, there you go.
All right.
Perfect.
Better? Okay.
Hey, Mom. So
hey, baby.
Tell everybody what your name is and who you are.
My name is Jina DeMeo, and I'm Nicole's mom. I've known her all of my life, and she has been at least 15 different women so far.
So, okay. Tell them, I guess what you can do is like if you would like to share with everybody what it was like whenever I was struggling and maybe share with them your perspective of when I was going into treatment, because I don't really like, I remember going into treatment and thinking I did everything right and then coming out. So maybe you have a different perspective.
Well, I have to say this. You were self-medicating for whatever reasons, only you know. Some things happened to you, and I felt guilty as a parent that maybe I didn't protect you enough. But bottom line was when you went into treatment, it should have been for yourself. And I really think that the first couple of times you're a people pleaser and you were trying to please your father and I because you love us. In spite of your use of drugs and the choices that you made, I can never say that you didn't love us. I mean, I always knew you did. But it was like you didn't have any control over yourself. You didn't. Because you couldn't stand the way that you felt without the drugs. Because you, like you said, you didn't think you were enough, Mia. Never thought that you were enough. And you were always more than enough. You just didn't know it. So I think that the first couple of times that you went into treatment, again, you're a people pleaser. You want people to like you. You wanted to fit in, and the best way for you to fit in was for you to learn things really fast, get them down pat, show everybody how good you were, like you said, compliant, and that was your reaffirmation. But then when you got out of that situation, you weren't prepared for real life, because in real life, people don't pat you on the back. They don't keep stroking you, and they don't keep telling you how great you are, how wonderful you're doing, because not everybody knows your story, and they're not supposed to, you know? So I feel like in some ways, maybe counseling would have been a better um, way of handling once you came out of the program. If maybe we had continued with some serious family therapy to really look at what was causing your acting out, why you felt like you needed to not feel, why, because there isn't, people are afraid of what they don't know, but when you know, that's when you have power.
Yeah.
That's why it's so hard when you're in any type of addiction, whether it's overeating, over medicating, over drinking, overspending, gambling. The root always comes down to you not thinking that you're enough. And you have to figure out, why do you not think you're enough? And sometimes some people come from bad families. You didn't come from a bad family, but you
Right.
still had that feeling. So that tells me that it doesn't matter what your origin is. There's just some people, I think, to be honest with you, that are just more sensitive. I think you're very sensitive. And I think that has a lot to do with it. And I'll bet, I'm pretty sure that if we started polling all of your friends, all of your recovery, real talk recovery, Patreons and support and people that come to your meetings, they're probably really, really sensitive people. They're probably really creative people. They're probably real type A personalities that want to get everything done and be perfect. And the world's really hard on people that are like that. It
Yeah.
just really is. And that I think that's where I feel like we didn't understand the disease enough to come up beside you and say, okay, you've gotten the detox done. Because really that's all it was.
Yeah. 30 days is not enough to
Yeah.
do anything.
It's nothing. 30 days is nothing. 30 days is just long enough for the insurance to file, so they'll cover it, and for them to say, okay, we got her sober. But sober, but not how, no, not even sober. We got her detoxed. Because sober really is it's a state of mind. It's how you live your life. It's making a lifestyle choice, just like deciding you're not gonna. I'm keto. I like keto. That's my lifestyle choice. That's what I do. It's the same thing when you choose to be sober. It's a lifestyle choice. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I see. That I wish, that's one thing I think we could have shortened your journey, and we're really fortunate that you didn't kill yourself or
What
anybody else for that matter.
what do you like when you and Dad were trying to help me and even Michelle, like was there any places around that were talking about addiction? Were there other parents that were talking about addiction?
When we would go to the church, your father was too embarrassed. And anybody that did know, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, because I'm a firm believer, I have a really strong faith, and I believe in God. God and prayer, praying to God moves mountains. It changes things. It affects change. God is always for us. That's what he wants, the very best for us. But there are people that are in church and they're blessed and they're fortunate, and they, for whatever reason, their children didn't have difficulties. So they don't get it. You know, if you, it's like having a baby and somebody who hasn't had a baby. If you haven't had that experience, you don't get it. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's real quick about, well, if that was me, I would do this. Well, it's not you. And you know what? A parent's worst nightmare is, that has a child who's addicted to anything, is that they're going to do what everybody else tells them to do. And then they get that phone call that you're dead. And the last thing they said to you was, get out of my house, or don't
Right.
call me anymore, or don't call me if you want something. That is a parent's worst nightmare. And there really wasn't a lot. I think the best thing that I was able to connect with was Al-Anon. And my going to Al-Anon really helped your father see things in a different light. I mean, because you
Right.
remember when Michelle was going through her stuff, and he didn't want to accept that there was something wrong with her. And I kept saying, "There's something's not right. No, you just need to spank her more. You just need to be firmer with her." But that doesn't fix people. There's always going to be somebody bigger than you that can beat the crap out of you, but it's not going to fix you. LD beat the crap out of you and almost killed you, and it didn't fix you.
Oh, God, that was a nightmare.
It
What
was
was that like for you and Dad? Like seeing me with this guy who's beating me up and knowing that I know that I can do, like, I wasn't raised in that atmosphere. So for me to even go from the way you guys raised me to living like that, what was that like for y'all?
that was horrible. That was horrible because um, you knew it. I know you knew it, but it's like you would die first before you would admit that he was abusing you to us. But we already knew that he was. And I was really afraid that I really was afraid that he was going to kill you, Nicole. And that, I still don't understand that about anybody that is in an abusive relationship because I guess because I've been blessed enough to never experience it. And
Yeah. A lot of it was just like I was on drugs. And so the drugs played a part into why I was even with him. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like we were
yeah,
both high all the time. And then it was like I was so resentful at Dad because I knew that he didn't like LD, is that I would do anything to
LD,
prove that he was not doing that to me. You know what I mean?
I know, but honey, your father loved you, and yeah, yeah, you just wanted to prove that your daddy was wrong. But
Because me and Dad were always like competing or butting heads together, you know?
oh yeah, absolutely. No, I understand. Well, because you know what it was, your dad didn't sugarcoat things. He was not a diplomat. He called a spade a spade. You
Yeah.
know, if you were being stupid, he would say, "You're being stupid." Whereas I would say, "Well, I really wouldn't have made that decision. I think if you step back and look at it this way, this would be a better choice. Don't you think this would be a better choice?" You know. So yeah, your dad didn't do that. Your dad just blurted it out. You're stupid. You're fat. You're dumb. You're whatever. He just no filter. No filter.
I know. I know. And
Yeah.
like that's exactly how I am now. You know what I mean? Like I'm exactly we're the same person. That's why I think we like would
Right.
butt heads so much.
Right.
Okay, so what was it like? Okay, so you I know a lot of people probably want to know like when I came home from getting my felony and I you guys saw it in the newspaper.
Yeah.
Um and I had to go to prison. Well, how did you feel when I got my felony and I got put in prison? And what were you and Dad thinking? And how did you guys cope with that? How did it affect Michelle and Christine? Were they upset?
No, let me tell you something. Your sister, Christine, was really, really embarrassed. She was angry with you, super, super angry with you. I mean, really angry with you, Nicole, because like she felt like she was always defending you and standing up for you, and then you turned around and pulled a crappy stunt like that.
And why was she always defending me?
Because people would say things about you. Oh, I saw your sister, she was hot, blah, 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 and derogatory remarks. That's
Yeah.
and you were her big sister. And her way of thinking was that you're her big sister. You should be sticking up for her, not the other way around. And you weren't very nice to her back then, but she still loved you. So yeah, she was really angry with you. And Michelle cut you a wide berth because she was doing the same crap that you were doing. The only
Yeah.
difference was you did it on a bigger scale and got arrested for it. That's the only difference. What? Yeah, honey, I'm talking to Nicole. All right. But yeah, that's what that your sister Michelle Michelle loves you, but there came a time where she was like she didn't want to hear what you were doing, why you were doing it. She just wanted to forget about it. She just wanted that part of your life is over. It didn't happen. You're perfect now. Let's forget about it. And that's kind of like,
Yeah.
you know. But when you went into prison, I was heartsick for you. But at the same time, I was relieved because I knew who you were, and I knew it would be a lot harder for you to get drugs in there, and that you would probably be okay for at least the year that you were in there. And
Yeah.
I was relieved. I was relieved because I didn't know. I always dreaded phone calls in the middle of the night because I didn't know. Hey, listen, hey, honey, I gotta go. I gotta take the dog out, but I love you. I hope that helps somebody a little bit. Okay,
You
baby?
did great, Mom. I love you.
I love you too.
We'll
Bye.
have you back on to pick your brain another day.
Okay, bye bye.
All right. Bye, Mom. So that was my mom, you guys.
No, it was not.
And
See what's coming for you guys?
oh, you want to show him your snake? Nate wants to show you guys the snake. There you go.
It can turn.
You want to say there hi to everybody on Facebook?
It can turn.
Here you go.
It can turn silver and blue.
There you go. Show them. Awesome. So one day we'll have her back on and she can share a little bit more. Okay, Nate, share a little bit more of the crazy stuff with you guys. But it's a different perspective, you know. I don't know. I like to think that I know how my mom felt when she was having to deal with me and my active addiction, but I really have no idea what it was like for her, and I will never ever understand it. It makes me very, very sad whenever I hear her. She gets upset and starts crying because I know that she cared about. I know that she was worried about me all the time. You know, my mom would do anything for me. Even though she wouldn't let me come back and live there because I wouldn't stop getting high, she would always like feed me, and if I came over and I was like not feeling well, she would, you know, brush my hair and try to help me get myself straightened out because I was probably coming over looking like a hot mess, you know? And so I'm just very fortunate to have a family that supports me and that, you know, they support the fact that I'm in recovery and that I share my recovery journey with other people because, you know, I know some people's families who they don't want them to share that they're recovering addicts. They would rather them keep it a secret because it's embarrassing to them, you know, or they just don't think that's something to be shared. And so I'm really, really fortunate that my mom is like right here, front and center, hanging out with us, sharing what it was like for her. And there's so many other moms out there that, you know, they need to hear from another mom that's walked the walk with their child so that way they can learn what to do, you know, because it's like really difficult. Can you guys imagine like having your son or your daughter coming home every day and being under the influence and being, you know, being close to dying, you know? And so I feel like I tortured my mom for so many years. And now that I'm sober and I'm living my life right, I just want to do everything I can to show her that I'm better and that I'm never going to go back to that life, you know? And it's really, really important to me to never go back there so that way I can show my mom, like, you don't never have to worry about me. I'm always going to be here and sober doing the right thing, you know? So I hope you guys are all having a good night. When will your dad be on? Daniel, I knew you were going to ask that. You guys, I'm telling you what, like my dad is such a hustler. He'd probably make us pay him to come on. You know, Merck, for a long, like, okay, so it's been in July, it'll be 5 years, okay, that I've been sober. And so the first year that I got sober, right? My mom and dad were still living in New York. And so they were like in New York and they were able to kind of like watch me from afar. And I remember we hit our year and my mom and dad were like, you know what? We want you guys to come up to New York to come and see us. Okay. So they paid for me and Neil and Nate to get on a train and to come up there to see him in New York. And I think that was when my parents first really realized like we were really sober and we were really doing recovery. We weren't doing anything bad, you know, because here we are with my mom and dad and New York, and we didn't even drink nothing. Like, when you go on the train, you can drink alcohol. I mean, we could have done anything we wanted to do, and we were straight laced. And that's how it's been ever since. Even when, like, this last birthday, when I went up to the mountain, uh, I could have went to the liquor store and had a beer and drank myself into oblivion on my 38th birthday, but it's like,
You
for
said
real,
you're
like, we're
30.
really sober. We're really wanting to be better and live our lives in recovery. And it's like different, because it used to be something that, like, I had to do. It was almost like I have to stay sober. But now it's like I don't have to do it. I want to do it. I don't want to live my life out there in my addiction anymore. I don't want to make bad choices anymore. I don't want to hurt my family. I don't want to, put my son in danger. I don't want to hurt my husband. I want to be here, and I want to be consistent, and I want to be able to help others, and I want to be able to support others. And I can't do that if I'm getting messed up. You know what I mean? Yeah, girl, I'm 38. I just turned 38 in March.
Mhm.
Am I 38 or am I 39?
30, 39.
38.
38. Okay, 38.
39.
38.
39.
82 is when I was born. So that's 38. Yeah. Okay.
39.
Shh, hush, honey. Shh. Nate, I love you, buddy. Hush.
You keep saying my name wrong.
He wants to be famous. Come over here. Oh.
No.
One day we'll have to do like a skincare routine on my channel for all the ladies. Because listen, you guys, and I have to tell you,
Over here.
shout out to Cindy Briggs. Cindy Briggs is the girl, my best friend. She sent me all my awesome skincare. You want to say hi? Come here. No? Okay. He wanted me to tell you that he plays baseball.
See what I found?
Oh, let me see. Okay, I'll keep it right here for you.
Yeah, bro.
All right, love you. So Cindy sent me all the skincare, you guys, and now I use it like religiously. So yes, Cindy Briggs is good people, and she really hooked me up with the skincare, you guys, because it's expensive, and she got me on all these acids. Like, I use retinol, glycolic acid, alpha hydroxy acids. And so I'll teach you guys how to layer them, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. They have some really good, The Ordinary is exactly what I was going to say, Brittany. The Ordinary has some awesome skincare products that are like really, really affordable. So I'll turn you guys on to all that. So here's the tea, y'all. Did y'all enjoy that little meeting? I didn't expect for my mom to come on with us tonight, but that was a nice little surprise. I hope that, you guys enjoyed that. We will have her on one day for a whole episode, and you guys can just pick her brain and ask her all kinds of questions, okay? Now that I have this StreamYards thing, she can just pop on with us anytime, okay? So this is what I want you guys to do, all right? Now that we're finishing up this 48, 42, this live stream, we can go over now to James's channel. So let me get I was about to say LT. Let me get Sober James's channel pulled up so you guys can see where we're going to go next for the next meeting. So the next meeting is at 8 p.m. straight up. And that is Sober James's channel. See that naked man right there? So just like it sounds, Sober and then James. And we're all going to go over there and go to his meeting. And then after Sober James's meeting, we're going to go over to LT's meeting. So let me pull up LT's. And I started a little early so y'all can have an intermission in between. You can get up, you can go pee, you can make yourself a snack. So this is LT's channel. Okay. So that way, I hope you guys will come over and hang out with us. Like I said, we got meetings going all night long. Well, at least till 10. So that way you will have recovery resources and you don't have to be alone. So does anybody have any questions or any comments, any concerns, anything that you want to say before we sign off and take our intermission? Yay. Loved it. Love it. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. That makes me happy to hear.
Yeah, buddy.
Good job. Come bring it down here and I'll get you some more. All right, you guys, let's take our intermission. Intermission is going to be, it's 7:40. So meet me over at Sober James's channel in 20 minutes. Okay. So we got 20 minutes. Everybody head over to Sober James's channel. He'll be on at 8 o'clock straight up. So if you need to run down to the grocery store or the Sonic or whatever, go get yourself a drink and some cheese sticks and a hot dog, or, you know, go take a dump, whatever you need to do. Make a cup of coffee, then take a dump, you know, do that. And then I'll see you guys over at Sober James's channel. All right. I love you guys. And then I'll be back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, and we'll do this all over again, same like we're doing it now. So I'll see you guys over at Sober James's house at 8 p.m. And I hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you there in the comment section. Okay. All right. Bye, you guys.